Hello and welcome to my review of Superman vs Muhammad Ali. For this issue we will be looking at the 2010 reissue of the comic, as it has updated images, colours and text and visuals. So let's dig into this legendary comic back from 1978. So to sum up the plot very simply about this book, Superman teaming up with heavyweight boxing champion Muhammad Ali to beat an alien invasion that's coming to Earth. When you look at this comic, you have to realise that Muhammad Ali was the biggest thing in the 70s, along with Superman being one of the biggest and most iconic superheroes of all time. The money was on the wall to do this crossover, bringing non-comic book readers and comic readers in to read this issue. Let's talk about the cover quickly, since it's one of the most iconic things of this comic. Since it's a wraparound cover, shows a host of late celebrities. Just to name a few, you've got Lucille Ball, Tony Orlando, Johnny Carson and the Jackson 5. The cover also have DC superheroes such as Wonder Woman, Batman, Green Lantern and other superheroes in the background as well. There is a list of everyone who is on the front cover inside the book itself, but a pretty impressive lineup of famous celebrities and politicians and creators and superheroes all in this one image, just to give you the magnitude and the impressive of how important this big matchup is between these two icons, icon versus icon. Our story begins with Clark Kent, Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen in the ghetto, and searching for a lead. Lois had picked up that someone is around here who she wants to interview, and sure enough it's none other than the champ himself, Muhammad Ali. Right when Lois starts the interview, an alien being turns up and starts having a go at everyone, pushing Lois over, even slapping Muhammad Ali across the face. Damn, this alien got a death wish. The aliens are calling themselves Scrub. Yeah, I know, weird name, but just go with it. Are challenging Earth's best warrior to a fight, a competition put one-on-one and pit their best champion against Earth's greatest champion. And the humans will be able to set the rules for this competition. This whole thing boils down to Muhammad Ali and Superman accepting the fight, but both of them disagreeing upon who should fight the alien champ. Superman saying he going to fight since he dealt with extraterrestrials before and being superhuman, but saying he should fight since they're talking about the best Earthman and not someone from Krypton. Well, the Scrub ain't the happiest type of people around, and Superman putting his hands upon one of them. This Scrub decided calls out his armada to eradicate one of Earth's city to be destroyed. Superman goes into action. In the mid of the action there, realise that the Scrub technology is highly advanced, even for Superman for barely able to stop one of their missiles. No way they can stop their technology and their advanced warfare. They just had to accept their challenge. Now here where the meat of the story begins, with both men can't choose who should fight on behalf of Earth. The Scrubs saying if you can't pick for yourselves, there will be trial by combat type of deal to decide who will fight upon Earth's behalf instead. For preparations for this fight, Superman takes Al to the Fortress of Solitude, where Muhammad can train Superman in the art of boxing. This is a very good bit in the comic, showing us both of them training, get to know each other. We get to see the understanding and the art and how the art of boxing works. Also with this going on as well, we start to see a friendship starting to grow between the two as well. Even a mutual respect, you can say. We get a bit of action with Al and Superman teaming up, taking on some giant robots, and here we meet Scrub's champ, Hang Ling. I hope I'm saying that name right. We find out that he was made to be the perfect warrior in a laboratory. Sort of reminds me of Cell a bit from Dragon Ball Z. The Scrub tell them they will stay with them to get ready for their big fight against each other, to show for the fight between Superman v Muhammad Ali. Well folks, the moment we've all been waiting for has finally arrived. Everyone from around space, every corners of the galaxy, universe, different dimensions, all join into one place to watch this fight. We get Jimmy Olsen's on commentary for Earth. I like this whole event. It sets itself up to make it feel like a huge boxing match. It's so well done. The art is beautiful. The commentary is beautiful. And the way they show it off, it's done really well. It boils down to decide the fate of Earth on who their champ will be the face against the scrub champ. The fight itself takes place on a planet with a red sun. For anyone asking, how can Muhammad Ali fight Superman? Well, there you go. The fight itself is a slobber knocker, hit after hit, blow after blow. The fight is vicious, and the best way I can put it, Superman gets wrecked in this fight, to the point he loses the match. Yes, you hear me right. Superman loses the fight to Muhammad Ali by KO. He knocks Superman out. This is important since in these Versus comics, normally you don't really have a winner. It's quite a big deal. It's like at the time, it normally ends in a tie, or the two sides stop fighting each other and they team up to take on the real evil. There's never really been a clear-cut winner in these Versus things, even now when you think about it. So it's very refreshing actually seeing an outcome of a winner in this. And surprisingly, it's Muhammad Ali. After the first fight, we move on to round 2, Muhammad Ali versus Han Yun. There's not a lot to say why this fight is for the fate of Earth, but it's a good fight. I'm not going to say there's a lot of great moments in it as well. Muhammad Ali hyping himself up to take on Han Lee, but this fight isn't what you think it is. That's all I'm going to say. But it turned out Superman and Al had a plan all along to trick the aliens to stop them from taking over their planet Earth. A weird twist of events, but I can buy it. With Superman's dressed up as Muhammad Ali stopping them from firing onto Earth, while the real Muhammad Ali is in the ring. I know it sounds a bit crazy and a bit confusing, but trust me, if you read the comic, it flows a bit better than that. As this is going on, some more great action seen between Muhammad Ali and the ring along with Superman. All I'm going to say is that the Scrubs are very sore losers, I can say that much, with Al whooping their ass. Plus we get a nice moment with the code of fighting comes honor, which I thought is a very nice touch. In the end, it turns out to be all a big misunderstanding, with the Scrub leader tricking their people into believing Earthlings were dishonorable and warlike. Well, that's good to know then, that the aliens are not that smart. Oh dear. So our comic book ends with Superman and Muhammad Ali talking about what happened, with some truths coming out, and on the last page we get this lovely image of Superman and Muhammad Ali shaking hands with Ali, putting it, Superman, we are the greatest. Now overall, what do I think of this comic? Right, before I actually give it a score or anything like that, I just want to say that this review was made because Muhammad Ali has passed away, sadly. I wanted to do something as a tribute to him, and this is my kind of tribute to Muhammad Ali. But as I go forth, this comic is really good. I was very surprised by it. I really enjoyed this comic. There's actually quite a good story in it, and also the artwork's really beautiful as well. I know I'm reviewing the reissue of 2010, but I have read the original issue that came out in the 70s. It's still very beautiful artwork, very well told story, a little bit confusing in places, but I digress. It's a really good comic. I would highly recommend it. I give it an 8 out of 10, and also Muhammad Ali, you were definitely the greatest. Rest in peace, Muhammad Ali.